Hello, my friends, and welcome back.
Yeah.
Today, we're taking a look at a clip where Hannah has come back and is trying to get some legislation passed to protect fat people. Similar to that FatFabFeminist video that we saw recently. Here's a clip. It seems that all across the country, fat activists are trying to get laws passed to get themselves declared a protected group. It's important that we pay attention and do not allow this to happen, lest the movie WALL-E become a reality. How can you consider somebody a protected class who won't even protect themselves? That's like considering alcoholics a protected class. To prepare me for the legality of the situation, I must first apply comb to mustache.
Long time no see.
Yes, it has been a long time, Hannah. We have missed you.
As most of you know, I've been far less active on social media for the past several months because I have 2 jobs, I'm very busy, life is hard. But now,
Yeah, you never got back to me on that counseling. What the heck happened?
something is happening that is genuinely so important, I feel I have to re-enter the arena.
Right, that's all good and well, but what happened to my counseling? For those of you that don't know, quite a while ago, like almost a year ago now, I tried to get counseling from Hannah. I signed up. My name was Frank. I think at some point she got hip to me or something and knew it was me. I don't know how. At that time, I had no followers, and I don't have that many followers now, so I don't know how she got wind of it.
On my page, I talk a lot about how fat folks experience systemic discrimination and have virtually no legal protections.
Yeah, why would they have protections legally? Where's the protection for people that poured bleach into their own eyes? There's a lady who did that. Where's her protection?
Fat people experience discrimination in employment, housing, insurance, healthcare, education.
No, they don't. And good luck proving that. First of all, fat people don't get discriminated against for any of those things. Discriminated against for housing? What are you talking about? Like, I didn't rent to that guy because he was obese. Like, that's never happened. Or the mortgage company wouldn't give you a loan because you're obese. That wouldn't happen. There are already laws in place to protect people and give everybody an equal opportunity at housing, employment, etc. And good luck proving that somebody discriminated against you based on your weight if they didn't allow you to have that house, job, or whatever. This is a slippery slope that just opens the door for all kinds of nonsense. Where's the protection for alcoholics? And all the other self-inflicted ailments.
Transportation, public accessibility, and more. Despite being 2/3 of the U.S. population,
there's no discrimination on public transport or any of that other stuff. If you don't fit in the seat anymore, it's because of the actions that you took to make yourself not able to fit into the seat anymore. If we make the seat larger and then you keep eating till you don't even fit in that seat, then what do?
there are hardly any laws to protect fat people from discrimination.
Yeah, why would there be? You're not a protected class and you're not a special group. Why would you have your own laws specific to you?
And that's what I want to change.
And that's what I want to make sure you don't change.
A couple months ago, I was contacted by Dove and they shared something with me that...
Dove? What are you doing? Dove, the soap and chocolate company? Disappointed. You guys have some very smooth and delicious chocolate. What are you doing? Of course it's them, right? A chocolate company? They're the ones that are behind the push to make fat people considered a protected class. Oh, yeah. So which corporation is going to back alcoholics being considered a protected class? Miller? Budweiser?
literally made me cry.
So the chocolate company sent you something about fat activism that literally made you cry. Wow, they're really good. They are really good at tapping into your emotions and selling you their stupid products.
Dove informed me they're working with the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance.
Oh, I bet they're working with NAFA. So Dove is working with the organization that started Fat Acceptance, which was started by a bunch of dudes who wanted to fetishize fat women and normalize their relations with them. For those that don't know, the National Association for the Advancement of Fat Acceptance was started by some dudes who were into larger women, and they wanted to normalize it. Okay, so next time you hear anybody use that as a reference for anything, just know immediately that that thing that they just referenced is not valid. Oh, it started from NAFA. Yeah, it's garbage then, okay? Some folks will say that the entire body positivity movement came from the 60s and was started from NAFA and from larger individuals. And then it was taken over by all those dopes in the wheelchairs and burn victims. You guys are really trying to take away the larger people's movement. making it all about yourself.
And the Fat Legal Advocacy Rights and Education Project.
The Fat Advocacy Legal Rights and Education Project? Oh man, that's a party, dude. Every time I go over there, dude, they're doing keg stands. It's getting crazy. You got people doing backflips into the pool over there.
To pass legislation to end body size discrimination in cities and states all over the country.
Well, considering that there are no laws that discriminate against people based on their size, this entire law is a moot point. Under the laws enforced by EEOC, or the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, it is illegal to discriminate against someone, applicant or employee, because of that person's race, color, religion, sex, including gender identity, sexual orientation and pregnancy, national origin, age, 40 or older, disability, or genetic information. Yeah, I'd say that pretty much covers all the different groups there. The interesting thing about all these anti-discrimination laws is that it's impossible to prove, though, right? Like, I didn't hire you. Unless I said, I'm not hiring you because of your weight, you literally can't prove it. Or if I were like, I'm not hiring you because of your genetic... What was that last one? Your genetic information. What? I hope that none of my potential employers have my genetic information to begin with. You guys stay out of my 23andMe account, okay? The main problem with this is that it opens the door for all kinds of self-inflicted ailments. If you can put yourself into a position and then claim to be a victim because of the position that you put yourself in, where does it end?
Legislation is our most powerful tool in the fight to end body size discrimination, which is why I am proudly joining the Campaign for Size Freedom.
Right, this being backed by Dove, a chocolate company. Are we not making the connections here? Are we not connecting the dots? You don't think it's weird that a multinational corporation wants to push for the acceptance of fat people when their product causes people to be fat? Am I the only one connecting the dots here, dude? This is like Budweiser backing a campaign to endorse drunk driving. Maybe not quite that bad because you're not out on the road, you know? Like, imagine if, like, the more obese you got, the more belligerent and intoxicated you got. Like, you're driving, like, man, that guy is so obese, dude, he almost crashed into me.
And we need public support to pass legislation like this.
Like I've said before, this whole democracy thing, it's not really working out.
So there are two very important things you can do. The first is to go sign the petition at dove.com/sizefreedom.
The first thing you should do is boycott Dove and never buy or use another one of their products again. Second, notice this sort of astroturf moving forward in the future. When you see some nonsense movement that seemingly comes out of nowhere, it rarely does. It's usually backed by big business. Surprise, surprise, shocker, shocker. Where's Big Diet to come counter this? Oh, right, they don't exist.
And the other is to share your story using the hashtag #CampaignForSizeFreedom. And
one time I sat on a toilet and it shattered beneath me because size discrimination. What we need are XXX sized toilets that are made of steel, just like the ones in prison. Sure, a regular sized person won't be able to use it, but people living in a larger body will finally be accommodated.
Tagging Dove. This is a really big deal, and there's a lot more to come, so keep an eye out.
This is a really big deal, and it's a slippery slope, so don't let it happen. Now we're going to take a look at a bonus clip from More Than Tracy T. It's got nothing to do with anything that we just watched. She's going to be talking about how she feels worse about her body now that she's being part of the body positivity movement than she did back when she was in middle school getting bullied. How about that? So body positivity is actually terrible for your self-image.
You know what's crazy?
Not me. That's for sure. Not this guy. Fools! Fools!
I've actually found myself more insecure now than I was in middle school
Oh, that. Not the thing that I said. Oh, yeah. That is crazy.
Before the body positivity movement was mainstream, when I hated how fat I was.
You still felt better back then than you feel now with all this body positivity nonsense. Well, that makes sense because this entire movement is designed to literally turn your brain into a pile of mush and have it drain right out of your ear. That's what happens. You start watching Fat Acceptance. The process begins where your brain slowly starts mushifying, and then towards the end, you're going to lean a little to the left or the right, just enough angle for that brain to just start working its way right out of your ear. Next thing you know, you look down on the floor and you see this mushy gray mess that is your previous brain. That's your brain on Fat Acceptance, folks. Don't let it happen. Not even once.
Even though I wasn't that fat at the time, like, I spent so much energy and time hating my body and trying to change it, and I feel even worse now that...
Huh. You mean obsessing about our weight all the time and saying, I love the way that I look, isn't actually good for us? That's weird. I thought as long as we say, I accept this is just fine, then it is so. So you're telling me it's not that easy to fool yourself, huh?
The body positivity movement is mainstream.
Like I've told you guys before, though, I don't mess with that mainstream body positivity, son. I only mess with that underground.
But every body that is glorified as being attractive looks the opposite of mine.
Oh? Okay, so More Than Tracy T is saying that body positivity is all good and well and everything, but the bodies that they're glorifying still don't look like hers. What she's referring to is like her fat distribution, right? Like, everybody's different genetically. Some people store more fat in their legs or their gut or their arms or their back or whatever. The point that she's making right now is that the bodies that are glorified are like more like people like Tess Holliday or whatever, that some people would argue store fat in a more traditional sense that makes you have more similar to an hourglass shape, even if you are larger. Some people do store fat in what could be considered a more flattering location than others.
And that is just, to me, that stings even more, because before it was like, okay, yeah, you're not a part of the thing. But now they're telling you, oh no, big girls are beautiful, like, you can be beautiful. But at the same time, you're getting this messaging that nobody who actually looks like you, with your proportions, with your fat face, whatever, can be attractive.
Okay, so yeah, like I just said, she is complaining because the bodies that are being glorified are larger, but they don't have the same proportions as her. Well, this is when you're starting to get like too neurotic, right? You're like, yeah, we're glorifying people in a larger body, but they don't have the same proportions as me. So what is it going to take for you to feel good about you? Do you need somebody else to come along and make a caricature of you, like use an effigy that looks just like you and has the same proportions as you, and put it up on the screen and be like, this is good? Is that what it's going to take to make you feel good about you? Because I'm here to tell you that accepting yourself comes from within. If you're looking to the TV screen or looking to somebody else to feel good about your own body, that ain't it, Chief. You need to learn to accept you for you, because there's never going to be somebody that comes along and puts every single shape, size, and body type up on that screen and says that one's beautiful, that one's beautiful, that one's beautiful, because your confidence and self-worth don't come from that screen, and they don't come from that person saying that all these body types are beautiful. It comes from you. That sense of self-worth and importance comes from within, my friend. You don't need to look like any of these other people, and you don't need to compare yourself to any of these other people. What you need to compare yourself to is you, the former you. You are a work in progress. All that matters is that you're working towards a goal today, and you're doing better than your previous self.
And so you just see like all these people who don't look like you.
It doesn't matter what you look like, and it doesn't matter what anybody else looks like. All that matters is working hard to improve yourself and being a good person.
And then you're told that you shouldn't be insecure because they do look like you, when it's like, they don't. I look different than that. And my body is still not acceptable. And
your body doesn't need to be accepted by anybody but you, Tracy.
The way that my fat distributes is still not acceptable. And I don't understand why people think that fat phobia is solved.
When is it going to be solved for you? When every single possible body type is put up on the screen and somebody declares that they are all acceptable? What about all the people whose body is not declared acceptable? Like I said, dude, your worth needs to come from inside.
Because this one body shape is a little bit more mainstream now. And you know, when I was really fixated on my body, when I wanted to be skinnier and I straight up just wanted to lose weight in like middle school, what I was insecure about was that being fat meant that I was like immoral and out of control and gluttonous, right? So then of course I stopped eating. But now That's not my worry. I don't think there's anything morally bad about being fat, but I think that despite my being as worthy as anyone else, I will never be attractive because my fat doesn't distribute the right way or the attractive way.
Okay, so from your own perspective, you're never going to gain acceptance from this outside source. Like I said, you're going to have to learn to love and accept yourself then. There's literally no other choice, right? You have no other choice.
And I know I need to get over that, and I'm fucking trying to get over that, but you guys still make beauty the most important thing ever.
What do you mean, you guys? You mean like men in general? I didn't make beauty the most important thing ever. I was just sitting here. This is similar to like, what do you do that really pisses off thin people? And then they start projecting, right? Like, thin people hate when I do this, they hate when I do that. Similarly, her saying you guys made beauty the most important thing ever is also projecting.
So, like, what are we supposed to do here?
We're supposed to change the parts of ourselves that we can to improve them, and also accept the parts of ourselves that we cannot change. Like, I lost all the weight, I went to the gym a lot, I have a pretty good physique, but the fat still stores in my armpit, or whatever weird thing, you know? So, we worked, we did the best we could, but we still got a fatty armpit, so that's what it is. We gotta learn to accept that part, because it just is what it is. That's where genetics come in and show that everybody's shape is different. You don't really know your full potential, though, until you work on your physique and get it into whatever kind of shape. Everybody looks their worst when they haven't put any effort into exercising or eating a proper diet. So comparing, like, bad physiques is kind of a moot point. Like, this obese person looks better than this obese person. Okay, but they're both still obese. The way to really compare people is when everybody gets in the best shape of their life, and then we look at them and see what the genetics look like. That's when you can really see what the genetics look like.
Every bit of body positivity is big girls can be beautiful too. Okay, but can big girls who look like me be beautiful?
Yes, girls who look like you can also be beautiful. Calm down, please. I can tell by the way that you use the F word quite a bit in this particular video, and I don't think you normally do. That you're very passionate about this. You're feeling this one personally quite a bit. You feel like every other body type that's obese, large, whatever is accepted, but not yours because you distribute fat differently on your body or whatever. But I'm here to tell you, nobody notices, nobody cares, nobody thinks that your large body is any less beautiful than any of the other large bodies or whatever the case may be, man. Calm down.
Or do they have to have an hourglass and no double chin?
Body positivity includes double chins and the non-hourglass shape. I don't recall reading that stipulation within the guidelines of body positivity.
And what's crazy too is what I'm insecure about now, I literally cannot change.
Oh?
I had a double chin when I was a thin child.
Dude, everybody has a double chin and a messed up looking chin from various angles. Even thin people, so it literally doesn't matter. Nobody cares. If you lost all the weight but you still had a double chin, nobody's gonna be like, oh my god, this is crazy. Plenty of people do, dude. Check this baby out. Look, I can suck it into where I don't even have a chin. See?
And I still do. That's just how my fat distributes.
I feel like that dude from Men in Black. Remember, like, the hillbilly character who's like, do you guys have a cat? Can I get a cat? You guys have a cat.
Just what I fucking look like.
Alright, calm down, man. Quit cursing. I see you're really passionate about this. You got all sorts of, like, feelings and emotions and all that type of stuff. But, like, dude, we all accept you, dude. Calm down.
And it's a stupid little thing. Yeah, I don't want to care about it as much as I do. But I do. Because it's everywhere. And all of society cares about it. So...
Alright, I feel bad for her. That was a moment of vulnerability, a moment of honesty, where she was just putting her vulnerable self out there. Well, I would like to tell you, nobody's judging you. Nobody's like, those larger bodies are just fine, but you? That's too far. You went too far. Like, nobody's saying that, dude. Nobody within the body positivity movement is accepting all larger bodies except for yours, okay? There's no stipulation that you have to be shaped like this or not have a double chin or any of that kind of stuff. It does not matter what you look like. All that matters is that you're working to be a better version of yourself and you're a good person. Everything else is BS. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.